It's no secret that I am a sucker for a folding dagger. And this was one of the first ones that I ever saw, way back in the mid-90s when these came out. One of the few folders at the time that was actually capable of being made double-edged safely. The edge is actually concealed below the level of the handle scales, combined with the sheath carry. It would be totally safe to make this one double-edged. And a lot of people did, and they look really good that way. But anyways, onto the actual specifics of the knife. This is a Gerber Combat Folder, the Applegate Fairbairn Combat Folder, which was a folding version of the Applegate Fairbairn Combat Dagger, which was an updated version of the Applegate Fairbairn Sykes fighting stiletto that became really prevalent in World War II. Rex Applegate and William Fairbairn took that design and beefed it up a bit into a wider dagger blade, very similarly shaped to this, obviously, but with a big brass crossguard, typically. The folding version of that dagger got designed in the mid-90s, 95, and was a collaboration between Butch Vallotton and Bill Harsey, actually. Butch doesn't get much credit on these, and I believe it was a bit of a sore spot for him. But to me, at least, the influence is very obvious with his integrated thumb stud blade stops that nest onto the liners to stop the blade in the open position, very similar to the Chameleons and a bunch of his knives. And then the extended unlocking tab on the liner lock was also something that Butch did on a lot of his knives. Interesting side note on that, typically that's an extended piece of the liner that's then folded over and checkered on most of Butch's customs and whatnot. But this one actually has a separate piece bolted onto the lock bar, and may be the earliest use of a lock bar insert, basically, that I have seen. I'm pretty sure these have stainless liners, but they also have a steel lock bar insert that doubles as this extended lock bar release, and also the interface where the blade tang meets up with the lock bar. Just a weird little thing that I had never heard anybody talk about, and just noticed while I was looking this over this morning before doing the video. Speaking of the lock bar, some of the people who were around when these came out may mention that this first version had terrible lock slip. It holds under steady pressure really well, but even a light tap will cause it to fail, which they rectified by updating it with the Lake and Walker knife safety mechanism version of that, which has a little tab up here that you can push forward in a natural grip, and that engages a little tab behind the liner and prevents it from being pushed over. CRKT would go on to use the Lake and Walker knife safety on a ton of their models. I think this might have been the only Gerber model that had the locks system. Still a really, really sweet piece. Again, I love folding daggers. I'm surprised it took me this long to get one of these. I just recently got this in. Now I'm going to have to hunt down one of the updated versions with the safety. There was also a really rare covert version with a different Lake and Walker knife safety that actually has a little button in the scale right here that you just click forward and it blocks the liner. I'll probably wind up having to snag one of those too. But yeah, so that's a look at the Applegate Fairbairn Combat Folder, the Vallotton Harsey collaboration. And if you're into the history of fighting knives, looking up the original fixed blade, the Applegate Fairbairn fixed blade history is definitely worth the read. So yeah, there you go.